Hello, and welcome back to the bi-weekly Reclaim Your Radiance short and sweet mini reflections episode. Braingasms of mine, if you will. Get it? Like an orgasm, but for the brain? Every other week, I will be taking a pause from full-length episodes to reflect on something that's been on my heart lately. I will end these mini episodes with a question, offering you a chance to participate and check in with yourself as well. See where you're at, see how you've been loving yourself lately. They will all be recorded kind of spontaneously as the thoughts come up in my life, as I find that I get the most insight there. And so they really do just come straight from my heart. So without any further ado, please enjoy a recent braingasm of mine. Let's talk about pleasure. It is the single most, as I believe, unspoken about major category of life fulfillment, right? We are so caught up in the noise of having a perfect home and a perfect family and a perfect job and all these things that combined may give you pleasure, but the pursuit of those don't always add up to that. And sometimes you get so caught up in pursuing them and pursuing the next goal, the next dream, the next thing, that you don't stop to enjoy your life, to take pleasure from the small moments, to take pleasure from yourself. We are literally designed for pleasure. Especially women. We literally have an entire organ that the only purpose is to feel pleasure. That is enough proof for me and hopefully for you that we are in part put here to experience pleasure. I believe that some of the biggest purposes of having a body and having this life is to experience pleasure, joy, and love. To both give it, to receive it, to embody it. So I am here to help people pursue their pleasure, to maximize their pleasure. And part of that is discovering what it takes to feel that pleasure, right? Part of it is, self-love is a huge part of it. That, if you don't love yourself, you're not going to be able to love others in that very satisfying way. It's going to help you maximize your human connections, which has been shown as one of the biggest indicators of happiness is strong personal connections. And then it'll help you discover, and I want to help you discover what's right for you in a relationship. Are you meant to be monogamous, or were you taught monogamy? Did you assume monogamy because that is what you were told in the examples that you've seen your whole life? Are you meant to be somewhere on the scale? You know what? I think most of us are. Most of us are not polyamorous or truly monogamous, and we are somewhere on that scale. Same as being on the LGBTQ scale or on the neurodiversity scale. We are all somewhere on that scale. And so part of reclaiming your radiance and really stepping up to the plate and grabbing that pleasure that is your birthright is discovering what is authentic for you. What do you need to live your best life? To live your most pleasurable life. Another piece of that is loving your body, every piece of your body fully and completely, so that you can give yourself that pleasure just by looking at yourself, just by being with yourself. Letting go of any of those negative thoughts around your literal being is really going to help you maximize your pleasure in all these moments. And lastly, and almost firstly, but we're going to leave it lastly because of the way society has kind of shaped us, is our sexual pleasure. And that is never something to take off the table. And while we all experience it differently, we all crave it differently, it all plays a part in our lives differently, that's part of optimizing what gives you pleasure in this life. There is so much about reaching your goals and becoming an entrepreneur and living your best business life and getting your perfect home. And there's less about just a conversation around pleasure. Let's talk about sexual pleasure. Let's dive into it. Let's dive into the different ways you can maximize that orgasm, maximize your connection with others, maximize your exploration. What makes you feel happy? Are you likely you are somewhere between the scale of, sex isn't for you. You maybe like to cuddle, you like personal connections, but sex does nothing for you. Excellent. That's great. If you know that about yourself, amazing. You are one step closer to your pleasure. And on the other end of the spectrum is just all of everything you can possibly imagine concerning sex. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're halfway in between and you're wondering what's missing. Maybe you're completely content. Amazing. Stick to that. But, I truly believe that maybe stepping a toe over your boundary, maybe taking a leap over your boundary, while it may suck in the moment, you're going to feel those growing pains and you're going to be able to live exactly the way you want to, by your own terms, fully empowered and ready to live the most pleasurable life. So there you have it, the end of my in the moment rant, which is really about my vision for the podcast and what I want to focus on bringing in and giving others, the maximization of pleasure, whatever form that may take in each person, giving each other permission to seek it, feel it, embody it, and just, damn, let's have some fun. So my question to you this week is, what brings you joy? I know it's a simple one. I know we get asked this all the time, but let's just humor me for a second. Let's take out a pen and write down a list. It can be anything, literally anything. Write down a list of the top 5 things that bring you the most joy. You can do this in your head too. Or better yet, if you have the time, keep writing until it stops. Write down every last thing you could think of that brings you joy. And then you can rank them. And that could be a really interesting exercise if you have the time to fully go through that too. Not just like think of the 5 that really speak to you, but like really just like enter a flow state, write down everything that brings you joy and then rank them. I think that could be really powerful. So next, once you have this list, think about any goals that you might have around these joys. Let's say, for example, that you love sailing and it's the thing that brings you the most pleasure in this world. Well, what are you doing right now to increase your time on the water, to increase your time in this state of joy? Are you saving up to buy a boat? What financial decisions are you making to support your pleasure and increasing those dreams, right? Like it's all about that next step. What is that next step to get closer to having more of that pleasure in your life? And yeah, again, this may not be breaking the bank or saying anything really new, but I would love to bring this idea to you this week that goals really don't just have to be about achievements and accomplishments, and they can be about feeling joy. And yes, we need to tangibly and purposefully put more joy into our lives, the same way we do with other goals. Are you ready to implement? Let's see your list of pleasures. What goals are you going to make for yourself right now to bring in more of that pleasurable thing into your life? I would love to see your answers. Feel free to post them on social media, tag me, or send me a private message. The details for where to send that are in the show notes and the podcast description. All right, thanks for joining, everyone. Stay radiant.